Alright, welcome guys to this my first YouTube video on this channel, and the Hearthstone patch we are getting is going to be on the 25th, so it's going to take a long time. So I thought that I might just help you with the pain a little bit and help you to play the Thief Rogue deck better. I'm currently top 10 legend on EU with the deck, and I think we can start by me showing you the deck list I've been playing so far. Alright. So it's just a normal Thief Rogue. There's some cards you can maybe run or cut from the deck, like Extortion is one of the first cuts from this deck if you want to run a second Rashard Viper, or if you want to play Vanessa. And if you don't face any weapon rogues or paladins, those are the real only two decks that this Rashard Viper is good against, then I would suggest that you would play double extortion or put the Vanessa in the deck. I think Vanessa is not that good, but it can help you sometimes. But it kind of requires your opponent to not expect it. So I wouldn't really run Vanessa in a tournament environment where deck lists are open, so your opponent just knows what you actually play. Just makes no sense. And yeah, I think we'll go through the mulligan first with some edge replay stats on the side, and then we'll go through some helpful replays to help you play the deck better. Okay, so now we are in edge replay. I hope this site is familiar to you, so you actually know how to use this site, but if you don't, you will also learn that right now. So here we have all of the classes and their win rates on the right side, and then we can also check the decks and all the classes, all the meta things. Like here you can actually see the matchups. Right now in Legend of 1000 it's all Rogue. Rogue is actually just tier 1, the only tier 1 deck right now. And Thief Rogue is on top according to HH Replay. The Poison Rogue is also really strong. I would also like to make a guide for that later on. So we'll start by checking the Thief Rogue stats here. So let's start with the mulligan. This is just the normal list with double swash, double extortion. So there is no Rashard Viper here. We may actually want to check a deck with the Viper in it. This deck has cut an extortion for the Viper and has the best win rate. This deck has even a better win rate. Actually runs Vanessa. That's really interesting. I wouldn't really agree on this according to my personal experience. So we go to Thief Rogue, and now we have the same list what I've been running, and we can see the mulligan. So of course the card you always keep is Valpono. I would always keep that. 0.6% of people don't keep it, so they're dumb. Okay, and Cutlass. I would always keep Cutlass with this deck. Extortion you can keep sometimes if you really want the tradable. It's like if you don't really have any other tradables, then you might want to keep one tradable for turn 1. And I also like keeping Swash only rarely. Only when you have like a turn 2 Swash into one Thief play. That's like a really good turn 2 play if you have that. And Double Agent is always a keep. And Secret Passage, I would always keep at least one passage if I have it in the hand, but I would never play it on turn 1. Playing it on turn 1, there's only one scenario where you could play turn 1. That's if your hand is double null, then you would play turn 1. And you also wouldn't really passage if you have double agent in hand. But I think passage turn 2, that's a good play. Because you can draw neutrals from the deck. Mr. Smite is a neutral, and the Viper is a neutral. So that's why you don't want to passage on one, because then if you draw neutral and you draw null, you only have 0 mana left, so you actually can't play the null because you drew a neutral card. And then you just are screwed up. But I really like playing Passage turn 2, because then you basically guarantee that you are going to get a 0 mana null if you happen to draw that, and you will also have the option of trading a card, so you get +1 card in your original hand after the Passage, or you can play a 1-drop like Swash or One Thief. Those are the main mulligan things. I would also keep Swindle on the coin, especially in matchups where you don't have to go all in on the board. So all in on the board, you would go against Druid. So against Druid, I would do my all to get the maximum amount of nulls and double agents on the board, and I would just play as many minions as possible and not prioritize card draw as much. Like you would Maestra instead of Swindle, for example. It's really good to keep the pressure on the Druid. You need to kill them early enough so they can't just get too much armor in the late game, and then you just don't have the damage to finish them off anymore because you didn't get the damage in the early game. The early game is really important against decks like that. And also with Shaman, they have a lot of freezes, so you want to get the damage in early and then transition to like a board free strategy with Mr. Smite, for example, and Edwin. And okay, so let's go through the classes. So versus Demon Hunter, well, this is kept 0% of the time, but it has the highest mulligan win rate. I think that's just because of Fel Demon Hunter. Fel Demon Hunter is the most usual Demon Hunter matchup. So I would prioritize early board versus Demon Hunter, but also keeping Edwin always against Fel Demon Hunter. And comboing that with Shadow Step on the Edwin turn. I would usually play Edwin when I have 6 or 7 mana. But if you have Scabs and you are in a slow matchup, you can actually play Edwin after the Scabs, so you get the hero power in, so you get a huge Edwin then. And Fel Demon Hunter doesn't really kill you if you don't give them a board to trade into. They can do things with Jace and attack buffs on the hero, but I would just prioritize on killing them with the Edwin combo most of the time. Okay, so then against Druid, you just want the early game board, just null and double agent on the board. You can also, like, if you have Shadow Step, you can Shadow Step double agent, get another 3/3 if you have a card from another class in your hand. I would do that. Against Hunter, Face Hunter is pretty much the only Hunter that's played. And Wildpaw Null, super good. Prize Plunderer. Prize Plunderer even sometimes maybe a key versus Face Hunter. Because you just have to remove the early board, then they get no damage in, and you are just winning the game. But usually just prioritize the nulls though. Okay, against Mage, Mozaki, I don't really like playing against Mozaki with this deck, but Wildpaw Null, really strong because it doesn't die to Fire Cell, definitely top priority. And then getting Double Agent early on the board is good, so you would coin Double Agent if you have coin, so they can't kill the Double Agents yet with Fire Sale. And you also kind of want to play around the Fire Sale, so don't go all in on the board if you can afford to. But sometimes you just need to go all in because otherwise you just don't get enough damage in before they can like start doing their own stuff. Okay, against Paladin, just have a good early game board. The Rustort Viper is actually really good in this matchup, because then you can also kill them through the hero card much easier than normally you would if they have the hero and you don't have Viper. And against Paladin I would just trade everything. Okay, so if you are against a priest, priests are usually the let's say it's the fun priest, the one that has the reducer minions and runs melee and all that. You just basically want scabs. Keep scabs. Scabs just wins you the game usually. They have big board. You can try to delay them, and then you slap the scabs, and then you just kill them by going face. And it's really good, especially if you get to kill some elect mounts with the scabs, like just deleting them by sapping all the minions. So that's really good. In the mirror match, Wild Paw Null, the best card, and Double Legend is always a keep in every single matchup. And I would... Prize Plunder is really key in the mirror match. It's super key, but you still don't keep it though. So you would be happy to see the Prize Plunder in your starting hand, but you don't want to keep it because the priority is so high on the Null, the Cutlass, maybe the Viper against Weapon Rogue, Poison Rogue, Toxic Rogue. Yeah, that's the main point. And out of the tradable cards, I would prioritize the Cutlass. That's the best tradable. And then the Extortion, and then the Viper. Okay, against Shaman, just early board, and then try to finish them with Smite Edwin combo. That works against Bolner the best, and basically also the Quest Shaman, because they don't kill you really that easily. They don't have that much burn in the deck. They just try to make big minions, and you can try to save Scabs for the big minions. Scabs is quite high on the mulligan win rate as well. Okay, so against Warlock, this is the only kind of bad matchup, but I think a good Thief Rogue player always wins against Warlock. You basically just go early board, hope they don't have Soul Rend, and then you just finish them with the Edwin combo. So, and for you to finish them with the Edwin combo, you want to keep resources in your deck. So you haven't drawn all the cards yet. Like maybe when you passage, you don't play prep for nothing, and that sort of thing. And keeping Prize Plunder really good, because you want to kill the 1-mana taunts. Because the 1-mana taunts are the only thing you can't really scabs back into the hand and be happy. Because if you just scabs the 1-mana taunts, they come back, and you just can't kill them through the taunts. So I would prioritize killing the taunts and then scabsing them. Okay, against Warrior, Quest Warrior is the most popular Warrior deck, and against that, just going Null, going Double Agent, going full board, just to instantly the game. They just don't have tools to deal with that usually. Okay, so that's the mulligan strategy for this deck. Okay, so now as the last thing, we'll go through 2 replays against 2 of the most popular matchups in Top Legend, and those are Druid, especially Ramp Druid, and the mirror match. Those are the 2 we'll go through now. So let's start with the Thief Rogue versus Druid. So here I only keep the Cutlass. It's a good tradable card, the best tradable to keep turn 1. So I'm trading it here, and usually this matchup can be lost if they have early ramp. He doesn't have Overgrowth in hand. Okay, and there you saw the 2-cost Demon Hunter hero power. So in game you also see that on the side of the cards played history. You see that the hero power cost 2, even though it costs only one. You can see that only one mana crystal is gone. So it's a good way to see if your opponent is actually a rogue instead of demon hunter. Okay, they are drawing cards, and we are still demon hunter, so we can just play double agent without having any non-rogue cards in hand. Okay, they just Lunar, kill my other 3/3 as well with the Moon-Touched Amulet there. And now I actually go for Prep Reconnaissance here, so I can find a big guy. I didn't find a big guy this game from that, but now I'm discovering a spell, and then I'm planning on trading the weapon to discover this spell. I didn't really want the tradable first, because then the Reconnaissance would have gone to 1 mana, and the prep would have only gotten 1 mana of value. So it was better to prep first in this case. Okay, and Mass Poly is a Giga Scam card versus Druid, and versus Paladin as well. If you find this versus those classes, I would keep it. And versus Warlock. I would pick that versus Warlock as well. Okay, so here I only had 5 mana. I was saying earlier that I usually play Edwin when I have 6 or 7 mana. But against Druid, you just want to slam the Edwin if you have like 5 mana. And if you don't really have any good plays. So I didn't really have any plays to make this turn. So I just slammed the Edwin and got it to be a 6/6. 6/6 versus Druid is really strong. So that's why I went for it. And he still hasn't had Ramp or Guff. So this is a really lucky game for me. If Druid wants to win this, they need Ramp, like in terms of Guff and in terms of overgrowth. They need that. Otherwise, the Druid just stands no chance. They have no way to play the game with so little mana. So I went for Passage here. And now I'm prepping the Extortion into the Taunt. Because I believe that I can find another source of damage to the Taunt. So I won't have to trade this Edwin into the Taunt. And this 6 can actually go face instead of trading into the Taunt. So that's why I went for this Passage here. Okay, so I found the Gnoll and Wicked Stab. Okay, so I'm playing the Gnoll and the Swash. And I can also not trade with the Gnoll, so I get to keep a 4/5 on the board. Because I drew Wicked Stab and reduced it. So I can just kill the Taunt, go face with this, Shadow Step it, and kill this threat on the board. So he can't just eat my Edwin or something like that. So now I just go face for 6, and it's very good. And they can't really do anything, they only have 4 mana because they were overloaded. So that's why he concedes there. Alright, welcome to the second replay. So this is actually a mirror match. Both are Thief Rogue. Opponent has Gnoll in hand. That's really good for them. I don't have Gnoll. So turn 1, I'm just trading a card so I can get the Gnoll reduced in my deck. Okay, they are also trading. So I'm playing double Swash here. So playing double 1-drops on 2 is like a good play on this deck, and especially here I just get to set up my hand for the double agent as well. So I'm not sacrificing the double agents just to get the 1/1s on the board. Okay. Okay, so they have Gnoll. It's 0 mana here. They spent 0 mana on that. Okay, and then they play this, and my whole board's just gone. Everything dies here. And they have 4/5, and I don't really have anything, so I'm going digging for cards with the Passage here. So the Gnoll is at 1 currently. I'm picking Flame Strike. That's really good versus board focus decks. Okay, I'm trading and playing Prize Plunderer. It only dealt 3, so that's why I needed to hit the null with my null. Okay, he equips weapon to trigger the Swindle and the Prize Plunderer as well. I got Edwin here. In a Rogue Mirror, playing Edwin is really good, even with low mana, especially if you can high roll into making the bigger minion. That would be really good. And sometimes playing Edwin, if you are low on resources, is even very good in the Scab's turn. If you play Edwin in the Scab's turn and they return it to hand, you get to go again with the Edwin. And I like going again, drawing 1 million cards. I really like that. Okay, so I drew Prize Plunder as well here. So I get to kill this, and I have an 8/8. And I got a null. So it's actually a 10/10 now. So a 10/10 Edwin for 5 mana. That's super lucky. But what will they do though? Let's see. Okay, so they are playing Swindle here, playing One Thief, picking the Shooting Star. Okay. And then he Prize Plunders my Edwin. And they're actually also getting rid of my Edwin here. So this is a key example of why Prize Plunder is such a key card in this matchup. Like, normally decks just wouldn't have a chance of removing such a minion. But this guy has. Okay, so I didn't Shadow Step because it's just low value on this null here. Would only heal 1, and I really want to go face with Smite and Weapon in my hand. Okay, so this is dormant. It's not actually on the board yet. It's in the dormant state. Okay, so here I just Flame Strike. So I clear the board, and this is waking up next turn. So I kind of want to deal face damage with the Imprisoned Untamed. Okay, he gets a Flame Strike as well. And it's my turn. This triggers. I killed this. This is alive at 1 HP. Okay, I drew damage. And I equipped the second weapon to kill this. So he can't Shadow Step it and get some good stuff. So now I'm just going all in on the damage plan here. But he has Scabs. Otherwise I had Lethal here, but he had the Scabs here. Okay, now he's playing a lot of minions. Okay, going for the trade first. Going for the trade first is good because I try to get Scabs here. Scabs in the Scabs is really strong. Okay, so here I Barov. I want to clear this, otherwise I'm dead. And I'm trying to find a way to kill this Barov without using the Wicked Stab. But I didn't find a way, so I had to use the Wicked Stab on the Barov here to get rid of the whole board. So Reconnaissance sometimes gives you Barov, and that's a good way to get rid of the board. So you should remember that. Try to go with that out in some of your games. Okay, he's just trading. Now he played that. Goes Smite face. Yep. Okay, Shadow Step. Might have had Edwin in hand, but I had Mr. Smite and Wicked Stab, and I also had the 1/1 and a Hero Power. So he is dead here. Okay, I think that was a good example game of like seeing the Prize Plunder in action and also seeing the Scabs in action. Like if I had my Scabs there instead of the Barov, that would have been really good. Yeah, I think this was also a good showcase of the Edwin high rolls. Really lucky, like, for me to high roll like that. But overall, really good game. A really good showcase of how this deck functions. Alright. Thank you guys for watching the whole video. That's a lot of work on your side. It was quite a long one. But I hope after this you can actually play the Thief Rogue really well and you can climb to Legend or finish high on the ladder or play this deck while in tournaments or whatever your goal may be. I hope you get there. Thank you for watching and give this video a like and follow me on Twitter, on YouTube, on Twitch. I'm planning to do more regular streams there and looking forward to meeting you again or hearing from you in the chat. Alright, bye bye. Thank you.